Carlsbad. People, Purpose, and Impact. An essential podcast for those who live, work, visit, and play in Carlsbad.
Good morning and welcome, everyone. My name is Brett Schanzenbach. I am the president and CEO of the Carlsbad Chamber of Commerce. I'm your host today, and I'm excited to have with me Ashley Hawkins. Ashley is the director of Childcare at Bitchin Sauce. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning. How's it going?
It's going fantastic. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Very excited to have you for a variety of reasons. You know, you have this fun little title as Director of Childcare. Not many corporations have a Director of Childcare.
No, it's a very unique title. I love it.
Exactly. And it's going to be fun. We're going to unwrap that and talk about that today. But before we do, I always try to go in and do a little homework and research on my guests that are coming to visit us. And, you know, you had a kind of interesting path before becoming the Director of Childcare. You have a BA in sociology.
Yes.
And that's, I think, Florida State University.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And you ended up right out the bat at MSNBC.
Yeah. So I had some friends that were connected through MSNBC. And so I asked for an internship. And yeah, my junior year, I went up to New York and joined the Morning Joe team for a little bit. And then, yeah.
What a fun little experience. So you were doing that. And so you had this whole, you know, East Coast thing going on.
Yeah.
And yet somehow you end up out here on the other coast at Bitchin Sauce as a director of childcare. What was that transition? How did that all happen?
Yeah. So I met my husband when we were in New York, and he is really good friends with our CMO, Harry. And they always have wanted to work together. And then I introduced Harry to my best friend at the time. And so we were all together on vacation, and they were just talking about how they would love for Miller to come out to work for Bitchin Sauce. And so then Star was like, what about Ashley? Does she want to be like the director of childcare? Because Miller mentioned that I love children. I was licensing foster parents at the time.
Oh, wow.
And working for a nonprofit. And so we were like, yeah, let's make the move. We came out to California twice beforehand. And I was like, I love it out here. It's such a different pace. It's definitely the lifestyle that we want. So yeah, we made the move.
That's great. How fun. And so then after making the move, you doubled down on your love of kids, and now you have a master's in early childhood education.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of dive into the mastery of being the director of childcare and kind of figure out, when I was studying sociology, I did take an early childhood sociology class, and I was very interested in like what happens in the first 4 years of a child's life. And so I thought, you know, if these are the children that we're serving, I might as well become a master at figuring out what they need for their foundation of growing up.
Love it. That is fantastic. And that's very recent. You just got that, you finished, at least, you just recently finished that program about a year ago or so.
In January, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
That's a big achievement. So let's tell a little bit of the Bitchin Sauce story. Okay. You know, our listeners may be familiar with it, but they may not. And it's a pretty cool local story here. You already mentioned Star, so why don't you tell us a little bit about the whole genesis of Bitchin Sauce?
Yeah, so Star and Luke Edwards started making Bitchin Sauce. They started selling it at the farmers markets, and it kind of just took off from there. It became a cult favorite. Everyone was buying it. And then it started from the fairs all the way to like supermarkets all over the world now, or all over the country. But yeah, it's kind of became a favorite for everyone here in Carlsbad. Every time I'm wearing like a Bitchin Sauce shirt, everyone's like, whoa, like, where'd you get that shirt? And I'm like, oh, I worked there. And then it just turns into a whole conversation where everyone just feels so comfortable. And they're like, it almost feels like we're a huge family, that everyone, that Bitchin Sauce is connecting everyone.
Well, and it's great. You guys are a local success story, you know, coming up with the local farmers markets. And now, how big is the staff these days?
I think we're at over 100.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a field marketing crew that's all over the country, just spreading the bitchin addiction.
I love that. The bitchin addiction. So from Star and Luke conceiving this to now 100 plus employees. I know when I visited my son and his wife in North Dakota, and they had a kind of a fairly new Costco and we go in there and like, oh, look, there's still Bitchin Sauce all the way in North Dakota. And
Isn't that crazy?
it's awesome. It's super fun to see it grow. And of course, it hasn't just grown across the country. The number of like flavors has grown too.
Yeah, for sure. So we have a lot of flavors now. Personally, my favorite is the sweet flavor of chocolate. But
There's a chocolate flavor?
Yeah, there's a chocolate flavor.
Oh my goodness.
It's very delicious. It's like brownie batter. So that one's really good. But everyone is really raving over the new hatch that's coming out. So that's going to be a game changer for sure.
Fun. And for those, if somehow you've missed out on Bitchin Sauce up to this point in your life, it's an almond-based dip, right?
Yep.
And it's very like, I don't want to speak for you, but like it's vegan and all those good things.
Correct.
Gluten-free probably.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Vegan, gluten-free, keto-friendly.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Love it, love it. And of course, you have some major retailers who distribute it. As I already mentioned, Costco, but who are some of the other major retailers people might find it at?
Yeah, Kroger, at Sprouts, and Whole Foods.
Yeah, great. Awesome. All right, so we're going to take a brief pause. We've been talking to Ashley Hawkins, the director of Childcare at Bitchin Sauce, and when we come back, we're going to talk about their Kindness Inspiration Award and all the amazing things that go on at Bitchin Sauce that led to them receiving that award. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So Ashley, when we were talking just before, we were sharing kind of the genesis story of Bitchin Sauce and also your journey to becoming the childcare director at Bitchin Sauce. And I want to let everyone know that just recently at our CBAT Awards, you guys were honored as our Kindness Inspiration Company for 2023. And first of all, I want to stop and just congratulate you guys on that.
Thank you. That was such a fun day.
Yeah, wasn't it? It's a great thing. And for those that are new to that award and what that means, it means that you are purposefully and intentionally being good to your people, good to the environment, and good to the community. And so I want to kind of go through some of those layers because you guys have pieces of that fit all of those three different categories so well. And let's start with your program,
Okay.
the Bitchin Kids program. Tell everybody what it is and how it works. And you know, I think you were there from the beginning, so I know it was small and now it's big. So talk about all of that.
Yeah. So Bitchin Kids is an on-site employee daycare for all the employees to bring their kids there for free. So we started, at the time, we only had like 2 spaces in our suite. And so we started in a small classroom with all the kids. We built out the classroom together. And it was really fun. It was kind of not structured at the time because it was just me and another friend helping out. And so it was really funny because we would just spend the days kind of trying to figure out, all right, like, what are we going to do with the kids? All right, some got to take a nap. All right, we got that. But now I think about the day and we have a staff of 5 and we have a structure from every hour to every minute of kind of what we do. We have a nap room. We have a Lego room. We provide a kinder readiness program for all the kids about to head into kindergarten. So they're going to have their little graduation in August. Super cute.
Oh, my.
Yeah. But yeah, it started off small, but now we have about 20 to 25 kids. And during the summer, all the school-age kids up to a freshman in high school come and hang out with us. So it's fun to navigate because not usual daycares have like divided age groups. But with us, everyone's all together. So everyone's helping out with each other. And then they're also learning from each other. It doesn't matter what age group, like the 2-year-olds and the 3-year-olds are learning from each other, but they're also learning from the 7 and 8-year-olds. And so it's a very unique study. Like that was something that I tell my staff all the time. I was like, I would love to do a research project on like how this helps kids in the long run, like because they're not divided. And like my son has been there since he was 4 months old, and he is just like, he's 1 going on 13, I swear. You're just learning so much and seeing so much. It's very cool.
That's amazing. I think that blended approach, it does have some serious benefits.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure we didn't gloss too quickly over one aspect you mentioned.
Yeah.
So I think, well, I know, but for our audience, you said this is a free
Yes.
daycare program for your staff members.
Yeah. So when you get hired, they explain to you kind of like, okay, this is what Bitchin' Kids is. If you have kids, you're more than welcome to bring them in. And then they just loop me into an email with them, and I send them over the paperwork, and that's it. They come.
That's an amazing benefit to working there. I mean, we hear in our role here at the Chamber, especially coming out of the pandemic, there is a serious challenge out there in finding, childcare for working parents.
Yeah.
And for you guys to offer that as just A, it's free, but B, it's on site.
Yeah.
I mean, how amazing is that? So a parent can pop in anytime and check in or touch base or whatever. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And I think it's also really cool for the kids to be able to see their parents be dedicated to their work and like seeing them grow in their jobs too. I think it's very interesting to have that community like partnership with everyone too. And what's cool too is that we also work with the parents as well. So it's like we're not co-parenting, but we're co-working together to help build this child's foundation. So it's very cool.
I love that.
It's very unique.
Yeah, very unique.
Yeah.
In my experience, it comes from Star's heart as a mompreneur,
Yep.
And so I think this is just an amazing program that you guys have made available to your staff members, your team members, and you've just kind of taken that out of the equation as being a barrier to being a productive team member there.
Yeah, especially for moms too. I feel like it's something that is approaching the world right now too, is that this shouldn't be a barrier for moms, especially how expensive it is too. I know a lot of parents realized when COVID hit that one parent would just not go to work because it was more expensive to send their child to daycare than it was to go to work and create a paycheck. So that's something that Star was super passionate about in the beginning. And she's a mom of 5 now. And she just, she kicks ass.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, I hope it becomes a model for other companies.
For sure.
I hope other companies come and study what you guys have done and look to implement it. And, you guys, because you had Star's passion for this, you were able to start small in scale, right? And so now it's robust. And so maybe that intimidates some companies, but gosh, just starting would be amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that's the other thing too. I always say this is just the beginning, because I feel like if other companies were to realize what's happening and how we didn't really have like a structure behind it. We kind of just were like, all right, let's just do this. And then we learned as we go and kind of had that scrappy mentality where it's like, okay, we're just going to learn what works, what doesn't, and go with what does.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Now, another aspect of the Kindness Inspiration Award, in addition to being good to your people, which that's a beautiful example of how good you guys are to your people, is being good to the community. And you guys have, Bitchin Given.
Yeah.
I love that name, Bitchin Given. So it looks like it started about 3 years ago. Tell us a little bit about what Bitchin Given is and how it works.
Yeah, so Bitchin Given is our amazing arm that we have at Bitchin Sauce. I'll start off with what happens every Friday. So every Friday we have 4 hours of paid VTO time, so volunteer time off. So all the employees are allowed to sign up for our month's VTO options. So it's like last month we were with Ivy Ranch and then Green Oaks Ranch.
Oh, wonderful.
And so they had 2 options and they could go and they could help out with the different nonprofits there.
Very nice. So Fridays, 4 hours on Fridays.
Yeah, so we have a first shift and a second shift.
Okay.
So each employee gets to go and they the people there kind of give us tasks to do and stuff.
Sure.
So our team, what they do is they reach out to different nonprofits or different community partnerships to kind of figure out, like, what do you guys need? Like, how can we help you? If it's from building something that they need for, operations, or if they need us to plant some more plants for their next crop that's growing. I know at Ivy Ranch, we helped like clean up the horse stables and stuff. So
nice.
It's like we get dirty. And everyone loves it too.
Yeah. Well, and getting dirty, I know you guys, I think I read somewhere you're up to 65 different nonprofit partners that you've worked with. And I know I've seen you guys out there at like Agua Hedionda Lagoon getting dirty and other places. What are some of the other places you guys have been that you can think of?
One Kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
One Kitchen Foundation. We worked at the CRC.
Yep. Those are some great local nonprofits who do amazing work. And so I saw that so far, historically, I think your website mentioned that you have donated as a company through this program over 8,000 volunteer hours.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
That is huge. It's huge.
That is so amazing. Let me ask you this. Does an employee have the opportunity to say, hey, I would like this nonprofit to be considered for, a Bitchin' Given Day or whatever?
Yeah, for sure. So if you have like a nonprofit that you're connected with or anything, you just let our Bitchin' Giving girls know and they'll vet the nonprofit. And then we just kind of figure out, because sometimes some nonprofits like don't have availability on Friday.
Sure.
So it's kind of just like working it to try to figure out how we can fit into their schedule and into what their needs are too.
Got to get the logistics down.
Yeah.
That's great. You also have our young professional group just really recently, maybe this week.
I think it was on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I think it was on Tuesday this week. Just visited your cool beach club thing?
Yeah, the Bitchin Beach Club.
Bitchin Beach Club. Tell everybody about that.
Yeah, so the Bitchin Beach Club is this really cool space and house, and it's a multi-purpose full everything. We have a lot of events there. Like today, we're having our 4th of July event there. So we're going to do some line dancing. All of the managers get to get pied in the face. We're going to have a pie contest. So we definitely work hard, but we definitely know how to have fun. And the Bitchin Beach Club is usually where we go and have some fun.
That's great. And it's right on the lagoon?
Yeah, it's right on the lagoon.
Very cool. Yeah, our young professional group was there this week. I think we had like 65 young professionals show up and had a great time. I've even heard in the past, I don't know if this is ongoing, but you guys have done like paddleboard yoga out there. And
some paddleboard yoga, some kayaking. We have sailboats.
Nice.
So, yeah, there's been some sailboats happening.
And so your team members kind of, I don't know, how does it work? Do they have access to just go down and do stuff?
Yeah, so it's like, for instance, I had my son's first birthday party there. So we kind of reach out to Star and Luke, and we're just like, hey, like, can we use Beach Club? And then we set it all up.
Oh, that's great. Nice, fun little perk.
Yeah, it's a great place for everyone to just come together too, because everyone like the kids especially love the Beach Club because of the little beach area right there. The parents feel a lot safer than being at the beach because it's like a lesser break at the lagoon.
Right. Yeah. It's tamer, right? They're not going to get smashed or taken out by some riptide or something. And it's a little more protected environment. That's great. So business in general seems like it's going well for Bitchin Sauce?
Yeah, going well. We're killing it.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you mentioned something about something new. I think you called it hack or what?
Hatch.
Hatch.
Chili.
What's coming? Oh, okay. Yeah. Tell us about that. At least as much as you can.
I know. I was like, my husband would know better because
he's involved in it.
He's the VP of marketing, so he was making up like all the sayings last night. But
last night.
But yeah, Hatch chili's coming out. It's made from Hatch chilies, like the green chilies that are spicy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it has a little bit of a kick.
Nice.
But it's so delicious. It's a great one.
That's awesome. You have a couple others, or at least one other that has a bite to it too that I've been a fan of. And I'm trying to remember. It's a red one.
The roasted?
Yes.
Roasted pepita?
Yeah, I think so.
That one's delicious. That's
so good.
That's one of my top 3s.
Yes. No, so good. So before the pandemic, I know you guys had a robust sampling program at Costco where, you go through and you could taste them. Has that come back since the pandemic, or is that still kind of...
I think it has come back.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, good.
That's more of a marketing question, but I should have researched that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It was a regular staple at Costco's, before the pandemic, and then all that stuff kind of got shut down. And I haven't been to Costco a lot, in the last several months. So I was just curious if that's coming back. So I guess the big question, though, after hearing all these amazing things, is: are you guys hiring?
I think we are finishing up hiring in the next couple weeks. I know we were looking for a marketing assistant, but I think we got that. And then we're always looking for field marketing leads. So that's like all over the United States.
Oh,
but
very
would you like to join
I'm just our listening audience. They're hearing all the great things that you guys do and you provide. I can imagine somebody right now is going like, where do I sign up?
Heck yeah. So if you go to bitchinsauce.com, we have a job section on our website too. So
Nice.
always keep looking at that. We also post on LinkedIn and on Craigslist.
Very nice. So they can go to your website and check out what things might be there now. And is there anything we missed that we want to make sure and talk about?
No, just that everyone should have a bitchin' summer.
Amen. Have a bitchin' summer. Get some bitchin' sauce, whether you're headed to the beach, a barbecue, a park, or just entertaining friends in your home. Get some bitchin' sauce. You will be popular by providing it. I can share that from experience, as I'm quasi addicted to it. It's so delicious. But I wanted to thank you, Ashley, for coming down and sharing today and for all that you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. Thanks for joining us on our Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact podcast today. If you enjoyed it, please hit the follow button on wherever you get your audio. And please tell a friend. We would love to hear your feedback, which you can share at carlsbadpodcast.com. You can leave us a review, ask a question, or leave an audio comment, which we can play on the show in the future. And that's all we have for today. Can't wait to see you next time on Carlsbad People, Purpose, and Impact. And remember, share some kindness today. It's free, creates goodwill, and makes you feel great.